It's the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League female celebration game, celebrating the young women that lace them up across the league and across the Maritimes and continue to inspire the next generation of youth to continue to play the game that we all love. My name's Dayton Camo, welcoming you inside the West End Sportsplex here in Windsor, Nova Scotia for a Friday night matchup between the visiting Lindsay Surge and the Greenfoot Capitals. Starting in net tonight for the visiting Surge, number 31, Rebecca LeBlanc. And on the other end of the ice, number 30, Lauren Delaney will get set for puck drop. Theo Iatru on camera 2 tonight, giving us the best shots from across the game. We'll get back to center ice and ready for this opening puck drop. We're underway here in Windsor, Nova Scotia. The Surge have it off the opening draw. They'll play it back to center ice. This one's sent in, chipped in by Hartnell. Behind the net. That one's played back out front. And back to the point. There's going to be a whistle on the play. The net comes off. Just under 20 seconds into this opening frame, or 30 seconds, excuse me. We'll get a face-off to the left of Delaney. Face-off won by the Surge, played back around by Harlan. Up the wall to Beaton. She's first to it, but she's stripped. This one gets played around the wall. It's picked up by Beaton. She'll work it back around the near side. McHenry plays it to center. This one's taken away, slashed off the stick of Kearney. And now played back over for McHenry off her stick. Rossong plays it back into the slot. This one's picked up by Beaton, sent to the wall. Driscoll. The captain picking it up, sending it back to the point. Shot goes in from Payne, and it's gloved on by LeBlanc. And we'll get a whistle. So just under a minute 10 gone here in this first frame. Face-off will be won by the Surge. Played around the wall. Poked at. And now kept in. Now a chance coming in for Jodry. She'll shoot. And that one's stopped up by LeBlanc. Chloe Jodry breaking into the slot. A great shot there. Face-off won by the Surge. Back. Tran plays it up the wall. That's chipped at by Sangster. She can't get it further than the red line, and it's played back the other way. Surge. Play that one down on net. Battle down on the near side. This one gets played back up the wall through center. Payne back behind the net. She'll pick it up. On her horse. Down the near side. That one's wide of the net. The shot from Payne was blocked at the blue line. The Surge will work it out to center ice, and Asbridge will play it to the far side, dumped in on the backhand. LeBlanc will have to come out and stop it. Now this one gets to center. Rossong plays it to the far side. Worked off that puck by Josie Leslie, and now it gets to the wall. Not out. Picked back up by Wilkie. She goes around, and now it's up to center. This one's poked out. LeBlanc will have to cover her up. So just under 3 minutes into this one. Some great action at either end of the ice. Face-off goes back to the point. Walter's shot goes in. That one's knocked off the pad. Battle behind the net. This one's picked up, sent to the wall. Kelly plays this one into the corner. Eddie plays it up the wall, the affiliate here with the Surge today. This one's poked to center, but played the other way, quickly up. That's Kearney working in on the far side. Now a loose puck in the slot. This one's picked up by the Surge. Work to the near side wall, chipped at, and Nedelku will head off for the change. Now back down in the corner behind the net. This one's played up to the half wall, sent back in. A shot goes off the stick of Walter. And now back, glove down in front. McHenry trying to reach in there for it. It's played to the wall by Vautour. And she hits Buffett behind the net. Buffett circling with it in the corner. Couple of caps on her. Now she works it back up the half wall, back to the point. Tran goes back over to Kim, and Kim sends one through. Shot goes off the shin pad in front. Now this one's played back up to center. Working down the wing was McCormick, or Beaton, excuse me, but she gets pinned off on the far side. Now working back out to center is Wilkie. Wilkie gets the return feed. Now Buffett picks up that puck at center ice. She'll backhand it back down. A quick feed up ahead for Zara Prince. She's down the near side on the backhand trying to stop up. She'll send one back up, picked up by the skipper, Driscoll. Sends one in front. Jodry was spilled. A little bit of an interference call, but nothing going to be called on the play. Now Leckie. Jodry's all over her. She's spinning down in the corner, knocked off the puck and knocked off her feet. Now a battle in the corner. A couple of players falling down, and the battle will ensue. Knocked back in. Asbridge is on it for the Caps. Chipping that one back is Kelly, but this one's up the wall. And now played back for Rossong. Rossong to center ice. She'll send one in. Work back around for Payne. Payne plays it up the wall. This one gets to center. Back to Eddie. Eddie works it up. And that one just skips into the Cap zone. They'll play it off the wall. And now a chance away for Asbridge, but she just had that puck bounce off her stick. Could have been a clear breakaway. LeBlanc out to play it now. And now Eddie leaves it back. And now up the wall they go. London tried to chip that one out. Couldn't get past the bundle of Caps jerseys there. They're wearing these new neon green jerseys, but there goes London down the near side. Shot blocked in front. Good block by Harlan to get in front of that one. Now she goes up the near side. This one's picked up by Tran and sent down the ice. That's going to be an icing call on the play, and we will get a face-off. Back down in the Surge zone. 12:49 to go. The face-off coming to the left of LeBlanc. At the point, Wilkie sends a shot in. This one tipped just wide. Power was standing right at the doorstep trying to get a stick on that one. Now back around the near side. Power down low. Picked up by the Surge. Worked to center by London. She'll chip that one into the cap zone. Now behind the net. The Surge going to try and send it quick up to center, but this one's picked up and sent right back into the corner. Now a little tie-up down there in the near corner, right in front of cameraman Theo Iatru. Nothing called, nothing coming from that. Now the Caps on the attack, working it back down low. Up to the point, to Payne. She'll rip one off the leg, and that one's going to be a stinger. Now Payne again, another block. And now Robertson just had that one skip off her stick. What a shift. Couple of blocks, 2 in a row, right at the point. Just can't skip away on the breakaway. And we'll get a face-off right outside the cap zone. Eddie rips one cross ice. This one's sent in. Delaney out to play it. She'll leave it for Payne. Payne goes up the wall. Eddie gonna slap it back in. Working it down low is Gabrielle Buffett. Now Payne will work it up the near side. This one's gonna be sent down the length of the ice. And we'll get a face-off. Back down in the Surge zone, or the cap zone. Icing charge to the Caps. A minute off from the midway point of this period. Shots are 3-2 in favor of the Caps. Referees will figure out the correct players that are supposed to be on the ice, and we'll get this face-off going. One back around the wall. Gets to the point. This one's tipped in front. Saved by Delaney. Blocker to the corner. Now a high stick coming. This one will be whistled down, and we'll get a face-off outside the zone. Lecky will work in on the draw. She wins that one to the half wall. Picked up by Sangster. Worked ahead. Sangster working and scores! Alexandra Sangster walks in, picks up the loose puck, and rips one past Delaney. And the Surge are up 1-0 here in Windsor. Face off, one on the near side. Played up the wall by Kim. Going back for this one is Harlan. She plays it around the near side. Worked up the wall. Now Harlan back on it. Parsons plays it back, and Walter picks it up. Asbridge to the point. Tran, will send it back down. Lecky battling down there for it with Harlan. Harlan comes out with it, but in to help out. Or Sangster, and she'll work away net side while this one is sent all the way around to Parsons. Parsons through center. Her shot off into the netting, and we'll get a stoppage of play. Just past the halfway point of this period, the Lindsay Surge taking a 1-0 lead thanks to Alexandra Sangster here in the female celebration game in the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League. Face-off is won by the Surge back into the corner, but Powers quickly on that one on the near side. It's worked back to the point. Kelly sends it back. This one goes in. It's blocked in front. Now Poirier's pinched off on the far side. This one gets back over near boards. Power behind the net now. Working it back to the point. Wilkie sends a shot in. That one's turned aside by LeBlanc. Wilkie now gets it on the near side. Tries to make a move. This one goes back into the Surge zone. Now London. Up the near side wall. Plays it ahead. The captain, Rachel Hartnell, had that one stripped. And now McHenry plays it up to the center line. This one almost turned over, but sent in by the Caps. And this will be a quick breakout the other way for the Surge, working in to the near side. Shot saved. And Delaney all over that one. As we'll get set for the face-off. Driscoll working in against Eisner, and she won that one. Now back down the other way. Surge working it back out to center. This one skips down, a chance in front. Cleared to the near side and back into the corner for Hartnell. Hartnell now. That shot by the Surge will go wide. They'll work it back up into center. Driscoll giving chase, and that's going to be ruled an icing. So we'll go all the way back down into the Cap zone. 8:02 left to go here. Shots 4-3 now in favor of the Lindsay Surge. Driscoll back on the draw. She ties up McCormick and wins that one ahead. Now she picks it back up. Driscoll to center. That one's knocked off a stick and sent back the other way. Now back into the Cap zone. They'll go back up the wall to center. This one skips over the stick of Kim. Prince trying to work in there and get an opportunity away. Now up the short side. Maya McCormick working in. That one's wide of the net. Chipped off the stick of Walter. And now tied up down there is Delaney off the near side post. Buffett in front. This one comes out to the slot, and that's sent over the net. Whistle will come. And 7:11 left here in this first frame. As they reset the net onto its moorings. For Caps goaltender Lauren Delaney will get set for the face-off. The Caps win that draw and play it around the wall. Gets to the near side. Now worked out to the slot. This one's poked back. Kelly now to Lecky. She works out on the backhand. This one's turned aside. Now Walter. Now it's worked up the near side. Kelly, and a whistle will go. Nice job by Theo Iatru down there getting all the angles. Mackenzie Rossong knocked over, and we'll get a whistle as the net comes off the moorings once again. .640 to go here in this opening frame. As the refs try to get Lauren Delaney's 4x6 straightened back up for her. We're going to face-off win by the Caps, sent on the near side. McHenry racing after this one with Beaton. Beaton stops up Tries to send one in front. Now Kearney on it. Goes back to, now we'll get a whistle again as this one comes off the net of Rebecca LeBlanc, now off his moorings. Someone's got to head back over to the old exhibition arena and get the old pegs from there. Those are bound to stick. .6:27 face-off, won by the Caps, but picked up by the Surge. London working to center. Oh, good job to angle off. Down there by Leslie. Long pass off the glass. Beaten. Trying to get a stick on it. Kearney now. Plays it back. McHenry off the skate. Wilkie. Trying to find an option up through the middle. And now it's played up by Prince down the near side. Rossong for the Surge will play this one to center off a stick near the dasher. And now it's played back into no man's land. Now Hartnell working in. She'll shoot. That one's turned aside. The rebound sitting there, and they'll cover up. Delaney making the stop once again. So face-off coming, 5:39 to go here in this opening frame. Face-off, one back to the point. This one goes wide. And now down in the corner, Hartnell's on it. She gets pinned to the wall. Worked around the near side. Back to the point. This one's back down in the corner. Lots of pitch and catch being played here by the Surge. On this shift, worked out by Hartnell. She'll shoot. That one's turned aside. Saved by Delaney. She's made a couple of point-blank stops that time on the Surge skipper. So we'll work back down in for the face-off. This one's played back up the wall. Hartnell, she's got possession of it, working down and in there with Walter. Eisner as well. Eisner tried to play that one up the wall, gets back to the point, and this one's played out. And now back down in as the Surge have to go touch up. Now played to center. This one almost turned over. Eisner got a stick on it. But now right back the other way. That one was pushed ahead by Parsons. Now it's worked offside as the Surge work in. That was Odin working in ahead of the play. Odin McCormick on the draw. This one's won by McCormick. Back to Kim. Across the Tran. Buffett will play it to center. Now McCormick. Her shot sails over the net. Now back on the far side. It's a battle for the puck. Now to center. This one turned aside. Odin has to work her way back into her own end. Find the line and dump it in as Asbridge might have got a stick on that one on the way down. Tran to the wall to Buffett. Buffett will play one in. It's tied up around the near side, and now working out his power as she dumps her opposition on the way to the net. That was Vautour, and now Vautour's got a chance away, working in. Chopped at by Wilkie in a great defensive play. Now working up the near side, Asbridge chips it down, doesn't get past Sangster, but Power will pick it back up and go the other way. LeBlanc stops up. Sangster up through the middle. Taken away by Kearney. She'll work in. Gonna drive wide. Drops. And that shot was blocked. Wilkie working back, and now a chance away for the Surge. No shot. as Joseph was worked off the puck, able to chip it by it. Now McHenry's got a breakaway. Working in, backhander, and that one's turned aside. Early whistle, and they score on the rebound, but they'll call it no goal. An early whistle from the referee, and the Caps bench will certainly not be pleased with that one. Eleanor McHenry working in on the breakaway, and an early whistle off the pad save. The net knocked off its moorings as well, but not until after the fact. Now the Surge will win this defensive zone draw, work it back up the near side. Tran up to London. She'll work in, try to set up shop, play it back to Tran. Across to Kim, back to Tran. This one skips over the stick. And now it's sent back down in for Lapierre. Lapierre sends one out to the slot. It almost got turned over, and it's back on the stick of number 17. Lapierre will work this one out on the breakout. This one's worked up the near side. Gets to Driscoll. She's trying to work her way in the zone. She takes a tumble, worked up the near side, or the far side, excuse me, by Poirier. She'll work in. Her shot's over the net. Picked up by Walter. Off the glass, and that one's gonna be an icing call. 1:31 to go here in the opening frame. And we'll go back down into the Cap zone to the right of Lauren Delaney for a face-off. 1-0 the Surge lead, thanks to Alexandra Sangster, excuse me. Now this one's played to center. Beaton will work her way down the near side. Picked up by McHenry, but left for Beaton. Now the Surge trying to work it into the offensive zone. Stopped up at the line by Walter and sent all the way back in behind the Caps net. They'll work up the near side. Stopped up at the point by Robertson. And now poking it free was Asbridge. Chance ahead for O'Day, but getting to that one first was Eddie. Now Hartnell. It's a streaking Robertson down the near side. She scores! Nevaeh Robertson rips one to the far side, and the Surge take a 2-0 lead here in Windsor. Face off, one back down to the Surge, and Eddie lets it go back, and this one's to the point. Wilkie has a couple of Surge bodies all over her. This one's picked up by Kelly and turned the other way. Kelly down the wall, near side, and that will do it here for the first period in Windsor. A 2-0 score for the Lindsay Surge over the Greenfoot Caps here on High Button Sports. We'll be right back with the second period of play right after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back inside the West Hand Sportsplex here in Windsor, Nova Scotia for the second period of play between the Lindsay Surge and the Greenfoot Capitals. It's the female celebration game presented by the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League here on High Button Sports. Through 2 periods of play, the Lindsay Surge lead the Greenfoot Capitals 2-0. Goals from Alexandra Sangster and Nevaeh Robertson have the Caps up by a pair. Shots are 8-4 through 20 minutes in favor of the Surge. Linesman will go down and give one more check to the nets, make sure they're coming off a lot less frequently than they did in that first period. Referee skating to center ice, checking on the goaltenders, and we're just about set for the puck drop, and we're underway here from Windsor for the second period of play. Working that one up the wall is the Caps, but they work it offside quickly here. 8 seconds into this opening frame. So we'll get an offside and a face-off right outside the Surge zone. Face-off is one, played back to Walter. Working that one ahead. Beaten. She couldn't get a stick on that one. Keeping that one in was McHenry. Now Tran up the near side. Chipping that one ahead was the goal scorer, Robertson. No icing on the call. Working it back up the near side. Off the stick of Beaten. Now McHenry up through center. Tried to find Driscoll working in, or Kearney, excuse me. Now a shot the other way for the Surge. That one blocked in front. This one goes back down around the net, up the near side. Through center is Wilkie. She dumps this one in. LeBlanc out to stop it. Plays it up there for the captain, Hartnell. She leaves it for McCormick, and McCormick will pound that one into the offensive zone. Power on the near side. That one's intercepted. Played back down, and a loose puck will make its way outside the line, and that one's called offside. So a face-off right outside the Cap zone. Just under a minute and a half gone here in this opening frame. And now this one's worked down into the Surge zone. Now back down into the Cap zone. It's played to center. Nedelku mishandled that one. Working in is Kelly. She's got a chance away on the back door. Working in. But that one played aside. Leckie will chip it up the wall. And now played back down. Eddie, the affiliate, knocks it back up the wall. Nedelku's got it. And she plays it up to center. Joseph mishandled that one. There goes Jodry down the wing. Her shot saved by LeBlanc. Now a chance in front. That one goes through the crease. Now working it in front, a chance for Driscoll. And that one's cleared back by Nedelku around the wall. Sangster's on it. Now Joseph has that one chipped off. A stick by Odin. Asbridge is going to put chase on her. Worked up the wall. Back up for Danica Joseph. It's off her skates and down into the offensive zone. Now Parsons working down, and that one's offside. At the line. Now a face-off outside the line is one at center and poked ahead by the Surge. London trying to rip that one into Surge possession, but it's played back up the wall by the Caps, sent down, and that might be an icing call. And Asbridge beats out the icing. Now a bouncing puck in the slot. Asbridge collects on the far side, sends it in by LeBlanc. LeBlanc steps up. Now Tran working at the center. Now work back down the near side. That one's worked in, be beaten. Trying to find the stick of Kearney. It's out of her reach. McHenry chopped at that one as well. It's sent back in by Lapierre. Now Hartnell plays it into the offensive zone. Payne. She'll work it to center. Chance away. The Caps have two. It's beaten. Her shot wide of the net. Now the Surge trying to work it out. It's kept in at the line, and now finally worked out back to center. Power has it. She'll leave it there. Working in out front, and that one goes through a couple of bodies to the point to Walter. And now work back out to center. This one's stopped up at the line. Hartnell will pick it up. Work it in over the line. She tries to make a nice drag move, but that one's turned away. Played back into the corner. Harlan. She's almost stripped down low, but keeps possession of it. Now Eisner coming in with help there from Buffett, and they do finally get it out. Now working it down the near side to the wall. Buffett back to the point to Nedelku. Nedelku has that one bounce off her stick. And now a chance away. The Surge have numbers. And now there's a pass in front for Driscoll. This one's turned aside at the side of the net, and Jodry's rebound goes wide. Now a pass intended for Driscoll, taken away by Vautour. Vautour coming down in, her shot turned aside. And now up the near side, Jodry ahead to Driscoll. Now some friendly fire at the Surge line. Kept in. Jodry goes off for the change. She's replaced there by Asbridge. Back to the point it goes. Shot goes in. That one's tipped in front. Now a battle in the corner. This one's picked up. Sent in by Parsons. Picked up by Charlotte Audin. Audin is spun off the puck by Leckie down low, and That one's picked right back up. A penalty coming. O'Dan back at the point, plays one across. Caps will try and set up here. This one exits the zone as the Surge touch up. And a tripping call coming. Lecky will get the call. 2 minutes. She'll head off for 2 or less for the trip. Face off to the left of LeBlanc. Won by the Caps. It's sent back to the point. That one just squeezed over the line. Leslie will retreat back to center. Played to the near side and back to Leslie. Up the wall, there's Jodry. Jodry recollects. Looks at her options, tries to find Driscoll bursting through, and that one's played to the near side. O'Dan picks it back up at the point. Goes cross ice to Leslie. Leslie back across to Kearney. Kearney working in. She kicks one up behind her skate, and her shot goes off the post. Leslie back at the point. Drops it off. Kearney down low looking for O'Dan. That one out of her reach. Now Jodry picks it up. Back to Leslie. Leslie working in her shot. Swallowed up by LeBlanc. And that'll bring us down to the last minute and 4 on the power play for the Caps. Face off one back to Payne. Payne fakes the slap shot, sends it across. On the wall is Prince. She sets up, drives, sends it back down low. Beaton and Prince play pitch and catch on the far side. Beaton trying to find an option. She goes back to Wilkie. 30 to go on the power play. And now Payne goes cross ice looking for Prince. That one's sent on and sent to the corner by LeBlanc. Beaton goes cross ice. Powers shot wide of the net. Payne picks it up on the backhand and works it over. Power trying to find a lane. Sends it down to Dowling and she'll chase after that one into the corner. Tran picks it up. Stripped and played back to the line. But Gould plays it across and she'll work it into the offensive zone. Play back across. Dowling works it in. Now a loose puck picked up by the Surge. That's Poirier working it through the middle. Lapierre there first, and she'll play it around the near side. Now Dowling working down the wall. Falling on that one was Nedelku, but a little bit of an opportune mistake. And now an icing call. We'll send it back down 200 feet into the Surge zone. Face off one by the Surge and it's played up the wall. Poirier, she's Wrapped up by O'Dang. Now this one's played in. It's covered up by Delaney. And we'll get a face-off. 8:16 left to go here in this second frame. Shots 11-7 in favor of the Surge. Face-off won by the Surge, sent back down in. And a shot goes in, saved by Delaney. The rebound sitting in the slot. Played back to the point. Rossong will work it down the near side wall, and Hartnell works out. Back to the point. Gibbs, her shot was blocked, and now a chance away. Asbridge, gloved up by LeBlanc. No danger, no rebound, and we'll get a face-off in the Surge zone. And apologies, folks, we have lost that second angle in the corner. We'll try and get Theo Iatru's camera back up and running here in this second intermission, or as soon as we can. As the Surge work in the offensive zone, a loose bobbled puck was covered up by Delaney. It was working its way into the front of the net. A little bounce, nobody expected it, but good reaction by Delaney to cover it up. Face-off one sent around behind the net. Worked up the near side, Beaton tried to get a stick on that one. Now worked back in, Vautour. Out front, that one turned aside. The shot by McCormick goes off the pad and into the corner. McHenry picks it up. Now she leaves it for Kearney. Now back for Hartnell. She'll pick it up, drive in. Takes a nice move. Her shot was stopped by Delaney. And she'll cover up for the face-off. 6:43 left to go here in this second frame. Face-off one set ahead by Prince. Driscoll has Jodry backdoor, just wide. Now Tran working in, she's stripped by Driscoll. The skipper works it to the half wall, down to Jodry. Jodry giving chase on Kim down low. Hartnell picks it up, sends it across ice. Dropped, but that one's onto the stick of Chloe Jodry. She'll work it ahead, out to center. This one gets back to the line, and Kim will spring Eisner down the near side. Her shot off the blocker. That one just kept out. Now back to Eddie at center. She'll play it across to Nedelku. Back across to Eddie, and she goes up. Working in is Gould, and that was Joseph. But her shot was blocked. Power tried to play it up the near side wall. That one's turned back in. Payne giving chase down there in the corner. Sangster comes away with it. And now this one's played to the front of the net, off the stick of Payne and out to center. Dowling tried to send that one in, and It gets turned over as Gibbs plays it up the wall. Joseph sends it deep. LaPierre grabs that one. Out to Parsons, and she'll work up the near side through center. Cuts over to the far side, down the wing. She's still got possession of that one. Now a collision in the high slot area will have the surge touch up. Delaney plays it to the wall as Harlan plays it up. Delaney has that one bounce off her pad. Harlan plays it back up out of danger, but she's almost stripped, and she was. Parsons will break this one out finally for the Caps and get the line, drag shot. This one's into the slot off a shin pad. Now Dent working down low. Pass goes out front. This one just jumps over the stick. And now taken away by London. London down low and a penalty coming. So we'll see Josie Leslie go to the box. And the Surge go back to the power play. Rossong sends it across to Arnold, back up top to Rossong. Her shot goes off the pad and it's sitting there back door. It's cleared aside to the line and out. Now Eisner works this one back up down the wing, turned aside by Delaney, worked in front, and that rebound is put wide of the net. Now back to the point. Rossong will gather and corral for the Surge. Sent down low. This one bounces off the stick of O'Toole. Eisner works in on the draw on the man advantage. Gets back to Vautour. She'll play it down to the corner. Back up top to Rossong. She plays it across to Ellie Eisner. This one's down, almost taken away, but now Robertson works out, and that one's just squeezed tight enough. Nothing getting by Delaney on that one. We'll take it down to Theo Iatru. He's back on it. As the face-off is one back down. Nedelku, cross ice, shot goes into the glove of Delaney, and she'll hold that one. 2:08 to go here in the second frame. 44 seconds, excuse me, on the penalty to Leslie. Now Tran, on the half wall. McCormick stops up back to Tran. Cross ice. Nedelku works in, glove save. And that one snagged quickly by Lauren Delaney. This face-off is one into the corner. It's pinned to the wall, but worked out by Danica Joseph. Plays it back to the point, and that one will skip Pass to Stikatran up to Nedelku. And she rips it around the wall, back in. Payne gotta be first to it. She'll pick this one up, try to play it off the wall. It gets past everyone and back to play it was LeBlanc, stopping up behind the net. They'll play it out to the slot. It's off the skate of Joseph. She plays this one back to center. Right back in they go, back into the corner. Kelly trying to mix things up down low. Dowling has this one off her stick, and it gets out to center. Nedelku now. Try to play one up the wall. It's pinched off by Power, and here come the Caps down low, but it's taken away by Leckie. Works back out to center. Leslie's out of the box, and she'll play it to the far side. 40 seconds to go here in this middle frame. Vautour onto the ice. She'll work up the near side wall. Into center. Vautour tried to find Leckie streaking ahead. And now up the half wall it goes to Kelly. Now Power taken down at the line, trying to chip one by Sangster. And she was knocked down. Now it's into the offensive zone for the Caps. Picked up by Leckie behind the net. 7 to go. And this one will be worked to center ice, worked back in, and the Caps will have to touch up offside. But that'll do it. Here from the West End Sportsplex in Windsor, Nova Scotia. The Lindsay Surge lead the Greenfoot Caps 2-0 through 40 minutes of play. We'll be back right after this with the third period.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
All right, welcome back inside the West End Sportsplex in Windsor, Nova Scotia for the third period of action between the Lindsay Surge and the Greenfoot Capitals. The Surge lead the Caps 2-0 through 40 minutes of play. Alexander Sangster and Nevaeh Robertson with the goals. Robertson out there right now on that near side wing. Surge will win that face-off down into the Cap zone. Played back and around. Down around the corner. Worked up to center ice. But this one's sent right back in. Wilkie. She'll corral and go up the near side. Played back to the line, and Rossong will corral it. Across for Gibbs. Gibbs turns, fires up the wall, and now Payne plays it to the far side. Back to center. Marley Payne goes deep. This one sent up the near side wall, but a couple of Caps in there to interrupt the play as Beaton gathers it up at center and plays it right back in. Sent up ahead, Payne pinched in, and Robertson able to work around her. It's working down, and now a chance in front. And that one off the pad to Delaney, a nice save. This one worked around for Payne. She'll work it up. This one's moved to center. Worked into the Surge zone. Eddie goes cross ice. And chipped back in by Lapierre as Eddie collects it. Goes up the wall, and this one gets back to center. Chipped at by Gould, and Gould plays it up for London. London working in. This one played aside by Delaney, and she'll go back up the short side. Tran back out to center. Played up by Harlan. Up the wall. And now out to center by Kelly, but it's taken away. McCormick working her way back in. The shot goes in. That one's turned aside by Delaney off the pad. And now working her way down the ice. And down the near side is Dowling, but that one was taken away. Sent back in by Wilkie. Tran goes up the wall, intended for Buffett. That one bobbled and picked back up by Tran. She'll go around the net. Drop it off for her partner, Kim. Kim up the wall to Buffett. She can't get that one out. Wilkie working in. Her shot right into the breadbasket, and LeBlanc will cover up. .38 to go here in this final frame. Face off back down in the Surge zone. Draw one. Back to the point. It's going to be poked out of the zone. And now across for Gibbs. Gibbs goes cross ice. Worked up the wall. Leckie. She tried to get that one out again. A stick on that one. It's offside, and we'll get a face-off with 16:19 to go. That draw one back to Wilkie. Wilkie goes up through the middle to Prince. Prince cross ice. Jodry throws one on net. And that one's cleaned up by LeBlanc.
Down there in the point. Lapierre. Now it's worked out to center. Joseph working down in. Loose puck is picked up by Jodry and sent to center. Jodry will head to the bench as Prince is taken down. But she brings Eisner down with her. Now a chance away. Sent in front. Driscoll can't get any good wood on that one. And now into the corner for Beaton. Beaton back around for McHenry. Plays it down low. Picked up by McHenry, sent around, and now Driscoll's going to be first to that one. Tried to go back to the point. And that one off a stick. Got a race for the puck down low, and a good save by Delaney. And now working this one out is McHenry. Down low. And it's turned around and sent the other way. Caps will work it back down into the offensive zone. Kim. Up to center, stops up. Takes a look and flips one down into the far side corner. Picked up by Walter, goes around the net. Now back out to center. Tran. Up the wall, Kelly now. Played it to center, a big collision at the line, and London will play it cross ice. This one sent in front. Good job by Dowling trying to find an option. This one comes back to Kim. Kim working up through center. She'll fire one off the boards. Now ahead for Odin, Charlotte Odin. She's got a couple of Surge players draped all over her as she sends it back down low. Asbridge will come in to help. Played back to the point. Wilkie has that one skip by her. Now Asbridge working up through the center ice. She'll get to the blue line. That one's held up and played across. Wilkie left it there. McCormick now working in. She'll send a shot on. That one's blocked in front. Didn't get to the front of the net. Now a chance in front again. This one goes back to the point. Nedelku sends a shot on. Buffett, a backhander turned offside the pad. Now a battle on the near side. Picked up by Odin. She goes cross ice. It's intercepted by Nedelku and sent back into the offensive zone. Picked up at the line and sent right back in. This one gets to center. It's taken away by Odin and swiped down the ice for the icing. So we'll go back down into the Surge zone, or the Cap zone, excuse me, for the faceoff. Face-off to the right of Delaney. Odin working in. It's one sent back to the point. Shot goes in. That one's pulled wide and now worked up the far side. Surge breaking this one out. Sangster played it through center, taken away, and now she'll get the return feed. This one's played in deep. McHenry plays it back to the point. Shot goes in. Jodry was lurking in front. Payne working in. Payne works it out, goes to the slot. McHenry working in. She's going to be on that one. Drops it for Driscoll. Driscoll's got Jodry going to the net. And that one goes through the slot. Jodry spins. Tries to find an option as Driscoll comes in. Awkward fall into the wall. Payne goes back down low. Jodry spins down low to Driscoll. She's looking for an option. Tries to spin on the back door. Jodry just missed that one. And now Robertson. She'll play it down into the offensive zone. Wilkie there. Backhands one up the wall. And now this one sent down the ice. Kearney tried to center it. Taken away. Ellie Eisner back the other way. Eisner for Hartnell. Back across, one-timer. That one's off a body in front, and they score. Delaney looks like she lost her glove, but Ellie Eisner will poke one home on the back door for the Surge. And late here in the third, they're up 3-0. So we'll work back to center ice. The face-off won by the Caps. They'll send one to the far side. Picked up at center by Poirier. She's working in. Cut off on the near side. Sent back in by Gould. That one doesn't get much further as Beaton will play it in. Picked up by Walter and sent back in. Cross ice. Gibbs plays one up. And that one will be called offside. 9:31 to go here in the third period. Shots 22-12 in favor of the Lindsay Surge. And that last goal coming from Ellie Eisner has him up 3-0. The face-off, one across. Picked off by Payne and sent down into the offensive zone. Power gives chase on Nedelku. Lapierre sends one back down into the zone, or at least tried to. This one pokes back to Marley Payne. Up the wall, Power tried to play that one up, but Eddie closed her off. Payne got a little hook in there from London, but not enough, or will it be? Yes, it will. So London will head off for the hook. She'll sit for 2 or less, and the Caps have a perfect opportunity to find the back of the net here on the power play. We'll see who they send out. It'll be O'Dan, Driscoll, and Jodry offensively, with Kearney and Prince manning the points. Or excuse me, that was Wilkie. Or Leslie. Now it gets back to Leslie. Leslie plays it across for Kearney. She'll drop back to Leslie. Shot goes in. Now looking for that one in sight was Jodry, and it spun off a stick, worked back up to center. Driscoll stops, and she'll look for an option, try to play it back across, and nobody home. Kearney will collect it, has it bobbled, and she'll start up from her own zone. Kearney up the far side, and she'll give it up to O'Dan. O'Dan, it's Jodry in the middle. And Jodry corrals it. She'll stop up down low. Drop it back for Kearney as she works to the middle. Pass in front. That one Just off his stick, Jodry. Shot worked in front. That one turned aside. The shot from Odin. Off the pad, and this one will go all the way back. The Caps will change up that power play unit. Kearney driving down the near side. She picks one up. And they drive it, scores! Aislinn Kearney rips one home on the far side, and number 88 in green has us back at 3-1. So the Caps on the board late here with just under 8 to go, thanks to Aislinn Kearney. Now sent back and worked across on the far side. Kim will work one up. Worked ahead for Lecky. She's got one back door, but she's working in and goes back to the point. Kim, stutter step. That shot goes in, and that's well wide of the net. Back down in the corner for Payne. Payne goes up the wall. Asbridge was bumped along the boards. No call, and now back in. That shot stopped, and Delaney covers up. 6:46 to go in this third period as they announce that last surge goal, or Caps goal, excuse me. Face off, one back shot blocked in front, and now working up the near side is Driscoll. She couldn't corral that one. Jodry plays it across for Driscoll again. Jodry right down in the corner, right in front of her grandmother Sue with the camera down there. Spent a lot of weekends driving, carpooling with Sue. Played a lot of years with Chloe's brother Jensen. This one's played back in. Up the near side, and that one's taken away around the center ice line, sent back in. Power. Back up to center, and Kelly was spilled. Back in come the surge. Chance in front. This one was poked wide. Not sure if Delaney was able to get a glove on that one. And now working up is the Caps. Dowling unable to get a good stick on that one, and LeBlanc gloves it down. Shots 24-14 in favor of the Surge. 5:25 to go here in this final frame. A 2-1 lead for the Surge over the Caps. Face off is one. Back to the point. Shot goes in, and that's gloved by Payne, or gloved by LeBlanc. The shot from Payne. And we'll set right back up for the face-off. Kearney had that stick snapped in half off the draw. She'll head back to the bench. She's replaced by Charlotte Odin. Odin intercepts it on the half wall. It's taken away, and Lapierre pushes it ahead. Odin almost intercepted that one and had a lane to the net. And now Robertson will play it up. Worked in down low behind the net. Now played to center. Odin has a chance in front. This one kicked at, And now a loose puck sits there. It's played to the corner. Kim corrals it. Plays it back behind the net for Tran. Tran back across for her partner. Kim fans on that pass. It's taken away. Now Asbridge. She's working down there in the corner. She'll play it for Parsons. Parsons looking for an option, trying to wrap in tight, and that one's no good. Poirier or London, will work it down the near side. Gabrielle London trying to make a move. That one's no good. Picked up in the corner and sent back out to center. Turned aside. Now Asbridge will play it back out to center ice. Lecky on it. Lecky plays that one back into the slot area. Now a chance in front for the Surge. It's played back to the point. Lecky works out with it. And now a penalty coming. A roughing call coming to Holly Gibbs. And this will send the Greenfoot Caps to the power play with 3:28 to go. The Caps, who have been firing on all cylinders offensively the last couple of shifts, will get a chance to see what they can get done in the offensive zone. Driscoll and Prince on the flanks with Chaudhry on the draw. That one's one back around for Buffett. Picked up by Kearney. The goal scorer with a new piece of lumber now will send it cross ice. That one picked up by Rossong and sent into the zone. Worked up around the near side. Battle along the wall. Leslie plays that puck out. Gets played back into the corner. Payne up through center on the near side now. Driscoll had that one taken away, and Chaudhry will circle back. She'll drop it for Kearney. And that one's sent back to Payne. Payne chips it off the wall. Hartnell able to break in short-handed. Hartnell cuts to the forehand, but that one's taken away, and Kearney will corral it. Work back behind the ringette line and start up on the half wall to Beaton. McHenry now. Delaney at the net, or at the bench. Back up top. Payne fakes back to McHenry at the top. That one goes wide. O'Day now in the corner. Back to Payne. Payne needs to rip it. She does, and that's gloved up by LeBlanc as Payne gives the extra shot to Alina Gould off the whistle. Payne faked the slap shot the first time. Now she'll ask for a change. Say to keep the fresh legs. And now the Caps will call a timeout. So off the draw, we'll work back down. Into the surge zone. 1:49 left on the clock. 19 seconds to the penalty to Holly Gibbs. And the skipper, Ella Driscoll, working back out on the draw with Kearney, Chaudhry, and Beaton on her flanks. Payne at the point. And this one gets to Robertson. She's already got one, and that's two. Nevaeh Robertson picks up her second of the game. She double dips. And the Surge might have just scored the dagger. Face off one and played ahead by Kearney. That top line still out there. Chloe Jodry getting a lot of time out here with Kearney and Driscoll on this top forward line. Now Kearney picks it up, spins, fires, and that one's taking a bobble off of Jodry and into the glove of LeBlanc in front. Jodry on the draw, working in. She wins it in a nice play, working it through the legs, taking that quick snapper off the draw, just off the blocker of LeBlanc. Driscoll tried to work it free of the pile. It gets back to Wilkie. She'll go up the near side wall. Now Nedelku stops up behind the net. Eddie now gets that puck as Power puts pressure on her. Puck gets back to Leslie, picked up by Gould. She'll work it down into the offensive zone. Into the corner it goes with 44 seconds left. Working it back down into the offensive zone is the Caps. Trying to finish this thing off strong here on home ice. Now a pass goes back to the point. Shot goes in. It's blocked in front. Now back one more time. Working her way in was Wilkie. But Poirier working in will get it across, and that'll do it. The Lindsay Surge are victorious here in the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Female Celebration Game. It's a 4-1 final here from Windsor. Dayton Camo, Theo Iatru on the camera, and the rest of us here from High Button Sports. We say thank you for tuning in here on this wet and windy Friday night. Be careful driving home, wherever you're driving to. Dayton Camo for High Button Sports saying thank you, and we'll see you next time.